All right, so I'm going to set this up, talk about it before I go, because, yeah, I got to keep reminding myself that first draft does not have to be tidy, and that anyone who wants to watch first draft or listen to first draft doesn't care, because they'll be appropriately labeled. Stay away from it if you don't care about, you don't want first draft. Like, healing-wise, what I'm doing here is I am not only playing up, like, working on accepting and integrating something that was extremely painful for me as a child, and that was that I, for basically from the ages of, I don't know, 6-ish to, I don't know, most of my childhood and teens and stuff, I was always really embarrassed about my clothes because they were, we were poor. And we got a lot of our clothes at a place called F&ck, which was kind of like, was like the one thrift store in town. And it wasn't uncommon for someone to be like, oh my God, we donated that. That's my shirt. I donated it. Or they'd be stained or be dirty because we didn't have washer dryer, we didn't have indoor plumbing. So we had to go to town to do laundry and didn't do it all that often because it was a big fucking deal to go to the laundromat. Anyway, so a big embarrassment around my clothes and always wanting to feel like I look cute, not wanting to go around anywhere if I'm feeling like schlubby or something. So I'm purposefully playing up my schlubbier outfit, but it's funny, and also letting my true self out more in, especially in silliness, and trying to, the way my brain works sometimes is the idea can be really, really clear, and but also come way before my ability to communicate it. And so sometimes when I try to actually talk about it or do the idea I have, it doesn't come out at all the same. But if I reframe that and look at it all as like, well, again, first draft, everybody who creates stuff like refines it. You got to practice. So that's all I'm doing, because I know that being silly but also like saying how whatever I'm doing is a healing practice when that's the case, might help folks kind of have a better understanding of what like inner child healing, for example, is. So I'm gonna finish this wee bit of cannabis, and then get on with the show. Okay. Oh, cool. It's the clouds behind, cloud over the sun, so the light won't be harsh. Okay. Let's turn the, let's see, with the little penis. Let's see, right there. Corinne made that, and my friend Piper made that, and my housemate gave me that. All right. So it's time to present the fall collection of the I Don't Give a Fuck collection. Okay, fashion show, that's what it is. This is the fall fashion show for the I Don't Give a Fuck collection, as well as layering on healing modalities collection, which is layered. Okay. I'm feeling some tension all over my body, so I'm gonna do some stretching and moving to try to get that out. maybe then the silly will come to the surface easier. Okay. I'm stopping and shaking. I'm trying not to feel embarrassed and afraid of being seen. Okay, here we go. 3 deep breaths. Okay. Okay, realizing I would feel more comfortable if I went and closed the sliding glass door, so I know that no one inside the house can hear me. So yeah, I definitely have a fear of being surprised by either a person, usually a man, that I don't want to be surprised by, or a beast that might kill me, like a bear or a wolf, or I don't know, some shit like that. Maybe even a moose might trample me. Okay, here we go. Anyway, all that animals, like bears and moose and stuff, was me referring to my Alaskan childhood and those being some of my realities. So I'm also reminding my body that, look, I'm in a really cool backyard and there are no bears, there are no moose, there are no wolves, there are no really truly scary men, just a butt head. Okay, here we go. Sunshine, thanks for coming out. Actually, it feels really good. I find myself a little more creative when I'm warm. And I like that it's late September and it's still sunny and I'm in shorts. Thank you, sunshine. So happy to have you here. So happy to know that the winter is not going to be long and dark and snowy and shitty. Okay, here we go. Welcome, everyone. We will be presenting the fall collection of I Don't Give a Fuck, as well as the layering on the healing activities collection. Right, so we've got Heather here, gonna be modeling a lot of these soon-to-be trends. Here you see fuzzy socks that also are grippy socks. And normally I don't wear these outside, but I have so many pairs now that I don't mind if I get a pair dirty, because they'll be my outside socks. Anyway, the reason these are great is because I hate it when my feet get cold, and I don't like to be slippery, because it scares me. I'm afraid I'm gonna fall. And this fuzzy feels so fucking good. I've had so many pairs of socks that felt fucking terrible to wear. Anyway, okay, so the first teasing is this fuzzy grippy socks. Highly recommend them for people who want some fuzzy on their feet, and grippy if you're afraid of sliding. All right, next we'll be showing off the jewelry of the hematite bracelet that my friend Aiyana gave me, because she gives me all kinds of cool stuff. So I like wearing it with my watch. Oh yeah, my friend Piper gave me this. Like, I have super generous friends. Okay. When I found this wristband, I love it so much. It's like this, I guess it's silicone. I love how it feels. I love how it looks. It took me a long time to find these. I guess that's the kind of stuff I should put links for. Okay, back to it. Because efficiency can suck my ass. All right, let's bring Heather on. First, you'll see probably the mushroom shorts, baggy with pockets. All the space in the world, even the band, is not restrictive. These amazing mushroom shorts came from either a buy nothing bag or a friend, probably a friend. So I can't tell you where to get them unless the universe brings you a pair too. All right, so fuzzy mushrooms. Okay, Next we have really old t-shirt, had forever. Very comfortable. I don't care if something happens to it anymore. Now we're gonna show the surprising layer. All the rage. Everybody's doing it. Castor oil packs. In this case, on my liver. I guess I'll bring that back in a second. It's actually making things hard for me to be everything to be purple. Okay. So first of all, what I have going on here is a castor oil pack, which I'll explain a little bit about. My friend Azaria is doing these a lot right now too. But by choosing a pretty one, and it wasn't expensive, actually it was amazingly cheap. I got to have a pretty one instead of an ugly tan one. So I try to always choose the pretty option whenever possible. So why the castor oil pack? Because castor oil is fucking magic. It's amazing. It shouldn't be a secret. Because obviously I need to talk about it, but this is a detox practice. I'll get to this in a second. That's a pain thing. What else? I've also been putting, I'm not going to show my whole butt, but I've been putting castor oil on this whole area, and it is notably more well-defined and less dimply than this side. It was funny when I showed Corinne, hey, will you look at my butt? She's like, sure, why? Acceptance, and then ask, why? Okay, now it's time for me to show another fall, or all the time activity. Anyway, I like to play with my hair now. I hated my hair my whole life. Now I love it, and it's hair that all the time I was growing up, people hated. They would be like, I gotta dye my hair. So I've had quite the relationship with my hair. So I like playing with it now. And it amps up the silliness if I put it in a silly style. So highly recommend play with your hair and be silly with it. Why do we stop when we're little kids? It feels cool. Anyway, so let's see. Where was I? The first reason I started using these is pain. I'd been told for years and years to use castor oil packs, and I kept resisting. I don't know why. It was because it's cheap and easy and so effective. Anyhow, I think it was when this started to happen, and that now I know that's arthritis. Castor oil on it and a hot pad was like extremely effective. If I paired it with curcumin, theracumin, amazing. Better really quickly. So castor oil was extremely effective there. My knee had also been acting up, and it's been extremely effective on here. I hadn't actually been doing this one for detox until just recently, because my doctor reminded me I need help with detox, and it's so easy. And so I was just down here a little bit ago, and I'm like, why am I not wearing a castor oil pack? This one is actually like shaped for a knee. It's not really meant to like choke me. But this part of my shoulder, like upper back area, is hurting, and I don't have the one that's like specifically made for this area. So I'm just making do with what I've got, like being flexible and adaptable and figuring out a way to use what I've got. But it also inspires me to get one that's specifically shaped for that, because again, super inexpensive, no reason not to. So by me giving myself the things that I actually need, and especially finding the really smart ones that are inexpensive, accessible for anybody, and extraordinarily effective. Where is I going with that? I don't remember where I was going with that, or this maybe that I gotta start talking out loud and letting other people hear me, but I don't want to hang out with people all the time, so that means I have to do it when I'm by myself, and then I forget. So I'm working on it. Someday I'll have a whole like video studio just set up all the time. at home, but everywhere else I actually like how flexible I can be. Like this is just a really good tripod. Fun. I'm so excited that I have a tomato plant that produces like this one does, because I get to come out here and eat off of it. Just like every morning I come out and I just kind of graze. I think grazing is extremely important for people and we don't do it. So I'm gonna make sure I have a grazing garden. Okay, I think I'm gonna start new because I don't know how well, this is way too close probably. I'm sure it's good enough. Okay, what else was I gonna say? I guess I should make a like field report. That's what I should do. Okay. The skins are really tough. I like eating outside because then I just throw it on the ground. But away from me so that the ants don't get it. But maybe the dog can. I also got some throat ones when I take this guy off. Oh, I could put it under. Talk about layering and efficiency. Okay, but I didn't bring the, I'll go get the castor oil in a little bit. So get as much sun on your skin as you can. I'm gonna take these off because now I want to have bare feet on the ground. There's almost never a reason not to get your bare feet on the ground, even if it's chilly. Do it anyway. I would do it in snow, even if that's what was on the ground. I definitely would put my feet on that. I think I do it pretty much every day for a while, and can't recommend it highly enough. And I remember it wasn't that long ago that I was like, what the fuck is grounding? What does that mean? Someone said, just walk barefoot on the ground. And I was like, what? What if I get stabbed and with like pokey things or a bee? I step on a bee because I've gotten stung a number of times by stepping on dead bees. So I've been afraid to walk barefoot, but now I'm not. Except in my mom's backyard because it's full of bees. Okay. What else? Oh, that's right. So much of healing has been like a private affair, and like people don't talk about it. Definitely don't talk about how fucking hard it is, except for like Jeff Brown, I think his name was. He got really big during the pandemic because he was so transparent about his severe health issues. He's since found out it's some form of Lyme, I think. And everybody loved it. Everybody ate it up. And so, yeah, my friends and I realized a long time ago, they're like, we just have to talk out loud, let people hear us, let people watch when we do stuff together. So that's why I have a bunch of videos in the like friends talking about stuff section, but also like just the collaboration and just a step at a time over the course of years. And now I have multiple YouTube channels that, you know, are pre-liftoff, but damn, when they lift off, it's like solid. I have so many good videos on all of my channels, but especially the art of processing, I have to remember to say that right. And I just scrappy entrepreneur school. I just my first video that I think before this, the most views was like 4,000 or something for gosh, I wonder, oh, I should look into that one. Is selling something. I wonder if I'm getting any clicks. Probably not because it's a short. I should check that. Anyway, yeah, a little bit at a time, slow and steady. I always want to spend more time on it than I have available, but I spend what I can, and because it's something I like so much, it's also like, well, this is my special interest, and you're supposed to, you know, I've been told over and over again that I need to let myself immerse myself in special interest. And in fact, I've been making my special interests into my divine compensation support model, and basically it all comes back to talking out loud and doing stuff and letting people watch. And I just found out, I've been watching this really good series on Disney about the 90s. I think it might just be called The 90s. So fucking good. And I'm on the internet episode, and it turns out the first ever like cam girl, the first person to stream live their just like day-to-day life, and it was this gal, and it was in her room, and just everything she did in her room was recorded. Maybe she did other rooms too. Anyway, like, she made tons and tons of money and was literally the first to put their lives online. And now there's YouTube, and there's, you know, OnlyFans, and who knows what else. Individual websites, like, it's bonkers. Yeah, the birth of the internet is so fucking interesting. And I love that I'm from the generation where my first jobs were always like, everything's in triplicate, because you don't even have a copy machine because it doesn't exist yet. And then everything's in paper files because not everybody and not all companies have computers yet. And so like the staffing agency I worked for a whole long time, I like managed the digital transition. So from files, which were sort of like from doctor's offices, the same kind of thing, where they have a file folder and it's like a whole bunch of paperwork, and it's everything we know about an applicant, like who wants to be a temp. And so we had to manually write or type every single piece of information into a new database when we decided to digitize. And number one, salespeople do not fucking like data entry. They're like, this is not what is in mid-job. I should not be doing data entry. And they're like, we're a staffing agency. We should hire a bunch of temps. It was really bonkers. Nope, you're working weekends and you're doing data entry for 6 to 8 hours. God, I hate that I had to like, I brought you donuts. Get back to your desk. Enter 10 more files and then you can go home. I'm sure it wasn't that mean, but still, I was not liked in general, but then really not liked when I was the one who was like, come on, you guys, you got to do your data entry. No, you have to come in on Saturday. Don't pretend that you are busy. I didn't say it like that. That's just, anyway. Yeah, but as a kid, like, getting my needs met was not something that happened a lot. And I was in a lot of pain a lot of the time. Some of it menstrual, that was some of the worst. Like, I couldn't get out of bed and I would just cry, and sometimes I would pass out from the pain. It was so bad. And I know that's not the way it's supposed to be, but there was nothing we could really do about it. It was like, okay, we'll take some ibuprofen and go stay in bed and go to sleep, but I would have to get out of bed. I still had to do my chores. If I didn't go to school, I had to still do my chores, and I would get some more rest, but I would have to get up and like drag myself around, and God forbid I had to go to the bathroom. I had to fucking go outside because I had a fucking outhouse. Anyhow, didn't get medical support for stuff like that. I broke my foot in 7th grade. We didn't go to the doctor till like, I don't know, 3 months later maybe, because it just wasn't healing and I was still in so much pain. When I broke it in math class. This little bone, mine is a little bigger than most people. It's attached to my knee, or to your knee somehow. And when my foot, like I stepped on something like this, a chair leg, and my whole foot went like, so that my sole was up. It was so disgusting. And I heard this terrible noise, and I just looked and went, oh my God, that hurts so bad. And it's gonna hurt so much. Like, I just knew it. And I think I was going into Spanish class, and the wrestling coach was the Spanish teacher, Mr. Wolfe. It was such a sweet, sweet man. He didn't know Spanish. He was teaching us from a book, but that's beside the point. Anyway, he carried me down the hall to the nurse's office. Everybody was still in the hallway, so everybody watched, like, why is Mr. Wolfe carrying Heather like a princess? I'm crying, and oh my God, it was so embarrassing. So I spent a bunch of time in the nurse's office. Nobody can come to get me. I have to stay there the rest of the day. And I think someone must have come to pick me up. I can't imagine that. Yeah, someone came and picked me up after school, and I was on crutches. in a ton of pain. And I'm reframing stepdad to bonus dad. My bonus dad was like, if anything's broken, it's just a small bone. I'm like, well, a bone broken is a bone broken, and I can't sleep because the weight of the sheet hurts so much that my foot's frozen because I can't can't put a sock on, and I can't cover it because it hurts too much. Can I please go to the doctor? Anyway, it only hurt for 30 years after that. It doesn't hurt anymore though. Okay, yeah. Okay, so having the resources to buy this sort of stuff for myself, having the ability to find the information, which was the internet that allowed that. There was no way I would find all this on my own, like from the fucking library, or, I mean, in the old days you had to talk to people. I don't want to talk to that many people. Instead, I just want to go quietly do my research, like. And I grew up on Encyclopedia Britannica, and so learning a bunch about a lot of different things. So I love that, but then also I love that I can deep dive, because when I would get to something in the encyclopedia where I'm like, oh my god, this is so interesting, how do I learn more? It was kind of hard to follow up on that. All right, so why do I have this one? I already said, yeah, the pain. I do, that's right, I did that. Okay. I feel bad for the neighbors because I think she homeschools, and the kids are really high maintenance and their dogs are really high maintenance. I'm amazed none of them have come out and barked at me. Okay, what else is happening? I think everybody should have a mobile office. I think you should have a backpack where you can take the basic things you need, your computer, your cords, the notebooks you're using at the time, maybe a snack, some pens, highlighters, the basic things you need, and get the hell out of the office, whatever space you use in your office, get the fuck out of it. Go somewhere else. Ideally outside whenever possible. Just dress appropriately, or find, if it's raining, a covered area, get as much fresh air as possible. Getting some sun every day, but also supplementing with vitamin D, because higher doses have been proven now. Thank you, some science done from COVID. I just wish you would have talked about vitamin D more, you motherfuckers. Anyway, it's very good for you. And in the Pacific Northwest, we don't get the enough vitamin D from the sun because of the angle or some shit. So you gotta supplement. Oh, purple glasses. So it's been proven that color tinted glasses can help you shift your mood, and each color does something different. I don't remember what purple is, it's just the ones I found. I have a bunch of them, different colors, and I do try to find the little card that tells me what color it is, but if I just put one on. It's fun to look around and see stuff. Everything looks different. It's good practice for you having to recognize that you have a filter over your eyes when you're perceiving the world, and you're perceiving it through a filter that changes everything quite a bit. This is just a physical representation of that energetic thing that happens with all of us. So concretely think about your behavior and how you respond or react to external stimuli, and just kind of ask yourself, am I seeing clearly, or is my vision partially obscured or quite a bit obscured by something from my past, where I'm seeing current event through all of that? And just recognizing what a big fucking difference even one layer of projection and mistaken connection of your past to the present moment. That's why people freak out in a really outsized way with I don't know. Let's see. Drink lots of water. Just always have a water receptacle within reach, and fill them and drink whenever you see one. Drinking enough water will change your friggin' life. I think it was 2014 that I finally got good about drinking at least 60 ounces of water. And it did change my life. Like I started to age backwards because I was hydrated finally. My body I started to lose weight because I was basically flushing more toxins. I'll show off my stickers. And yeah, I think this was drinking enough water was like the first step to really making that huge health shift. And I just would always have a bottle with me. I would carry it around the office with me. I'd have them all over the house. I like clothes containers because not only do I not want dust or shit in it or kitty noses or whatever, and I don't want to be afraid of being klutzy because I'm really fucking klutzy. Which, imagine what a nightmare that is, to be a klutzy child in a wooden cabin with wood heat, wood cook stove, wood heat, and then coal stove. I hated the coal stove. It made all my clothes stink. And oil lamps and candles. So here I am in an extremely flammable situation with oil lamps and candles everywhere, and it's a very small space, so it's easy to bump into things. So that was really fucking terrifying as a kid. I was always afraid of burning our fucking house down. So the fact that I really marvel every day about having electricity in my home. And often I remember how much I wanted drywall. Yeah, really one of my dreams as a child was, like, at 12 was drywall. Because when I lay in my cousin's room and looked at her ballet shoes, they were point, and felt her like cushy cover and the pink walls and all the girl stuff, none of that was even conceivable for me to have because we didn't live in a normal house. It was inconceivable to have a room like that. My parents had always had to say no when I asked about doing extracurricular activities. I had lobbied for ballet, thinking it would help me be less of a klutz, but it was impossible, not only for expense but also for transportation. It just was impossible. I had to ride the bus to and from school. And so the one thing that I was like, you know what, something that's realistic for me, it's okay for me to dream about, I just want fucking drywall. I just want drywall on my walls because I hate so much that I don't know when I got wood on the walls, when it was cedar, but for years it was the insulation, because the insulation, and then visqueen, clear plastic over it. I fucking hated it. So my wall, like, I guess if I reframe it to be like, it was modern art. Anyway. So I tried to cover it as much as possible with posters and stuff, but it's surprising how poorly things stick to visqueen. I don't know why I didn't have good tape. And I guess I didn't have enough thumbtacks. I don't know. But also there wasn't a lot to stick to. So it was just a nightmare. I hated my walls. I just wanted drywall. But when they put cedar on the walls, I loved that. It was pretty. That I couldn't have dreamed of. I wouldn't have imagined that we would ever afford cedar to put on my walls. But we did. I think that was in high school. So excited to get walls. Never had a door though. My room was the essentially, like, if it was an A-frame, so if I didn't need a room, it just would have been a taller ceiling. But yeah, they just basically loft room at the peak, very small, and I had to go up a ladder to get there, and there's no walls. I mean, there's walls. No, I don't know. What time is it? Okay. Ooh, it's 11:30. I get to go look at a house in a little while. I probably should eat some more before that. Did I get done what I wanted to get done? I know there's a lot more I wanted to talk about, because I want to talk about what I've been doing with Aiyana and Jeanette and Azaria and my leader group, Come As You Are for Way Showers. I gotta keep just writing my lists, and the most important thing that I haven't integrated is reviewing my fucking notes. So what I'm gonna do is also, those of us who like show other people how to do stuff, we have to practice what we are teaching. Like, anyway, so because I was thinking about somebody else, I was able to go, oh, what if I blocked out time for her every 3 days to plan for the next 3 days? So you're not having to look too far out. You have a little bit of a sense of how you feel. It's always flexible, but so that's what I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna keep practicing, returning to the, like, towards the end of the day, or even midday if I have to, just note where I'm at with stuff and what I want to start working on the next day. And when I don't keep this as a strict and stringent practice, then I don't get stressed about it, but it helps when I do it. So I just keep going, oh yeah, that's right, that helps me. I'll keep trying, I'll do that again. And because it's on my calendar, I remember. But then when I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna get around to it, I just take it off. It's not that big of a deal. But now I've seen on my calendar, like for months and months and months, review notes, a half hour blocked out. I don't do it. I very rarely do it. So I see that and go, oh shit, I really should try that. Oh yeah, also what I accomplished. So what I accomplished for the day, where I left each thing, because obviously you never like finish anything. It's just move it to the next step. So what was the step I left it at? So I'm not trying to remember. And what do I kind of think, at least at that moment, what's top priority the next day? And if I still agree the next day that those are still the top priority, great. If I don't, I change it. There's another layering is myofascial release. I can't remember the correct terminology, but getting more blood flow basically to the surface and breaking up adhesions and stuff. So doing it on my legs. And yeah, I guess the other reason I wear these because I'm really squinty. I mean, it's not that bright, but God, it's such a relief. I think it's hard for folks to remember to tune in to themselves and notice something like that. Like, oh, my eyes just hurt. I'm squinty. Oh, why is that? Oh, and can I do something about it? Yes, I can. I don't have to shut down that impulse because I can meet that need. You know, most of my life up to this point is like, well, that's a good idea, but I can't fucking have it, so I'm just gonna shut down that impulse. So I've discovered myofascial practices. That's not the right term, but whatever. Quite a few years ago, probably through a physical therapist, and so I found this like really inexpensive tool at Goodwill, and it can be left outside. So I just do it sometimes, and I think it feels good. And I also use my acupressure mat a lot. Oh my god, I'm so excited! All next week, I'm in one of the most beautiful places in the world, and I get to just stay there. I'm actually getting paid to stay there. God, I love it so much. Okay, yeah, that's gonna be, man, I am gonna be able to do so much next week. I hope. Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity for recording, that's for sure. Because I won't have to worry about people being around. That's one bummer about housemates, especially ones I don't like. Okay, all done.